Hello, my sweet strangelings. On top of staying hydrated this summer, I've realized life's too short for a day without fun. So whether you're at the beach or traveling for a vacation, you can get a thrill whenever you need it with SlottoMania, the world's #1 free slots game. SlottoMania is a unique gaming experience with really beautiful graphics, huge jackpots, and fun freebies. If you're 21 or older, you can join millions of players around the world. Download SlottoMania, the #1 free slots game on the App Store or Google Play Store and get 1 million free coins. That's SlottoMania on the App Store or Google Play Store for 1 million free coins. Hi, I'm Steffany Strange. Want to hear something scary? Tomino's Hell. Japanese poet Saijo Yaso published a poem in 1919 about the destruction and devastation of the war. He poured his heart and soul into the work so much that the urban legend says the poem is cursed. Mio's eyes flew open as she gasped for air. She didn't know why she was outside on the ground, surrounded by emergency workers, or how she even got there. She looked and saw the book titled Saken, meaning gold dust, and that's when everything came flooding back. Mio had always been different, or according to her father, a disappointment who worked in a coffee shop. She had just graduated from Osaka University and was supposed to be headed to medical school, but she never really cared about helping people. Instead, Mio longed to become a successful poet. She took a job as a barista so she could make ends meet while pursuing her dreams. After going through tons of books in the library, she headed to the desk to check them out. The librarian scanned each book, then came to a sudden halt as she held up a collection of poetry titled Saken. "Where did you find this?" she asked in surprise. It wasn't supposed to be on the shelf. The librarian told Mio it was not to be borrowed. The book contained a cursed poem called Tomino's Hell. Anyone who read it or heard the poem out loud suffered terribly, often fatally. The famous director Suji Terayama had made a movie based on the poem and had then died young. Some blamed his sudden death on the curse. The panicked librarian set the book aside while the librarian helped the next customer. Mio snatched the forbidden book from the counter and headed to work. Asuka, Mio's manager, called her out for being late again, but she paid no mind to her manager. Instead, began to daydream, eventually rhyming words, dancing through her head as she went through the motions of making mocha macchiatos. She snapped back to reality quickly when Asuka posted a sign that read, "Open Mic Night." Mio decided this was her chance to sign up and recite a poem she had in her journal. As she flipped through her journal, she began to have second thoughts. Instead, she figured she would look for inspiration in other books she had. The next day, Mio told Asuka she wouldn't be performing her poem. Asuka laughed, saying she knew Mio would bail. Asuka chuckled at her with that mockingbird screech, her face lit up with joy at her employee's expense. It was in that moment that Mio snapped back and said, "Actually, I am going to read a poem, just not my own." When it was her turn, she pulled out the forbidden book she'd stolen from the library. She finally read Tomino's poem. It was as dark and twisted as she hoped, and it strangely comforted her. The story of Tomino's descending into hell resonated with her deeply. She felt herself spiraling towards darkness, questioning if she'd chosen the right path in life. Tomino's hell. Elder sister vomits blood, younger sister breathing fire, while sweet little Tomino just spits up the jewels. All alone does Tomino go, falling into that hell. The poem was gruesome, not to Asuka's taste, and she turned quickly to go into the kitchen, not realizing she knocked over a candle. Mio continued. A hell of utter darkness without even flowers. Is Tomino's big sister the one who whips him? The purpose of scourging hangs dark in his mind, lashing and thrashing him. Mio saw a flame out of the corner of her eye. In the back, a tablecloth was on fire. But with all eyes on her, she didn't want to pass up the attention. With a smile, Mio read on. Into the blackest of hells, guide him now, I pray. When her audience finally smelled the smoke, they bolted towards the exits, but the route to the front door was covered in flames. The side door had been locked to keep anyone from sneaking into the open mic night. Asuka's fingernails tore and bled from clawing at it, trying to get out, but they were all trapped. Despite the blood-curdling screams and the flames closing in, Mio kept reading. She was determined to finish the cursed poem. And that was the last thing she remembered, before waking up disoriented outside the smoking cafe, realizing she had been rescued by a firefighter. She saw Asuka's dead, burnt body laying close by, covered in ash. Mio couldn't help but wonder if the curse was real. Now that was poetic justice. Mio figured she would find out for sure when she read the poem again at the next open mic night. Hello, my sweet strangelings. On top of staying hydrated this summer, I've realized life's too short for a day without fun. So whether you're at the beach or traveling for a vacation, you can get a thrill whenever you need it with SlottoMania, the world's #1 free slots game. You'll have endless excitement at your fingertips with 170 free-to-play slot games, huge jackpots, an interactive community, and millions of free coins. It's the perfect escape for your daily routine. SlottoMania is a unique gaming experience with really beautiful graphics, huge jackpots, and fun freebies. And the rush you feel when you win a big jackpot is horrifyingly amazing. There are hundreds of original Vegas-style and video slot machines ready to play whenever you are. It's like a Vegas vacation without the luggage, and by joining, you can interact with fellow players and form cooperative Slotto clans with new friends or enter electrifying live tournaments. When your day is feeling stale, just ask, what will today spin? If you're 21 or older, you can join millions of players around the world. Download SlottoMania, the #1 free slots game on the App Store or Google Play Store, and get 1 million free coins. That's SlottoMania on the App Store or Google Play Store for 1 million free coins. Hello, my sweet strangelings. I had just moved to California not too long ago, and finding a place is super hard. And I know a lot of us are always looking for the right place. And so I recommend Apartmentscom that has helped millions of renters and could help you find your perfect place. And yep, I know perfect is a tall order. But if you're looking for an apartment or a condo, townhome, or house even, Apartmentscom has all the right tools to help you find it. Use filters and save searches to narrow down rental listings and find exactly the place for you. You can even set up alerts to get notified as places become available. So, fashionistas, get your closet space or an in-unit washer and dryer. Sun lover, find as much natural light as you can handle. If you are working from home, you can have an area for your home office. An extra bathroom, a balcony, central air conditioning and heating, or a dishwasher in the kitchen. Whatever happens to be right for you, this is a place to find it. Apartmentscom, the place to find a place. All right, I'm a huge fan of Sherlock Holmes. I love mystery. So I have a question for you guys. What if Sherlock Holmes' most villainous nemesis was actually an innocent man? Don't miss the new Audible original Moriarty, The Devil's Game. It's a bold new addition to the Sherlock Holmes universe, starring Dominic Monaghan, Lord of the Rings trilogy Lost in the title role. Moriarty turns one of the literature's most famous rivalries on its head. That's right, on its head. It pits genius against genius in an epic origin story that recasts Professor James Moriarty as a desperate fugitive, framed for murder, haunted by dark forces who will stop at nothing, and I mean nothing, to exploit his brilliance. With Sherlock Holmes' Scotland Yard and the British Crown closing in on him, Moriarty must confront the ultimate question. What will it take to prove his innocence? And if he succeeds, what will he become? Moriarty, The Devil's Game. It takes a villain to create one. # Moriarty X Audible. Visit audible.com/listen to Moriarty and listen now. Using Talkspace feels a little like having a therapist in your pocket. That's why being able to reach out to my therapist or psychiatrist anytime from anywhere makes taking care of mental health super easy. I'm more relaxed when I'm traveling, knowing if I need to talk with my therapist, I can just send a message from wherever I am. Working through things in therapy can be tough, but connecting with my therapist isn't. I wholeheartedly recommend Talkspace for therapy. You can sign up online and start therapy the same day as you sign up. You can text, video, or send voice messages to your licensed therapist, so it's incredibly convenient to have virtual sessions from the comfort of your home. Taking the first step towards getting help can be scary. For anyone who is looking to get started, I recommend Talkspace because they make it really easy to match with a licensed therapist and schedule a session. Talkspace takes some of the pressure off that first step. It's a more flexible and convenient way to get high-quality care. Plus, there are several payment options to choose from. Talkspace is a fraction of the cost of in-person therapy. Instead of waiting for an appointment, you can now get unlimited messages to your therapist 24/7, and they'll engage with you daily 5 times a week. As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $100 off your first month with Talkspace. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com. Make sure to use the code SCARY to get $100 off your first month and show your support for the show. That's SCARY and Talkspace.com. If you would like to submit a story, send me an email at SomethingScary@Snarled.com. Like and share this video if it gave you the chills. And don't forget to subscribe to Snarled and turn on the bell for notifications. And if you dare, follow me on social media. Until next time, sweet dreams.